Once again, this is Prince Stacks here from the Royal Financial Investment Group, coming to you guys with another great video. Today's video is going to be about what is the difference between futures and options. The difference between futures and options. This video is made in a pretty much asking, I think it was Rob that asked the question, sent the email. He sent the email with a bunch of different questions in it, but I'm just breaking down video by video. But anyway, I don't have a lot of time, and I definitely know you guys don't have a lot of time, so let's get straight into the topic. But before I jump into this a little bit, I know I've been moving around, so sorry that it took me a little while to get to it, but as promised, I was going to get to it, and I'm getting to it now. So let's get to it. Anyway, so the big difference between future and options, right? If you don't know what options are, you can go back to my other videos and see I have a bunch of videos, not a bunch, but I have quite a bit videos about options. But on futures, on the other hand, I don't have any videos on futures. And the number one reason why I don't have videos on futures is I never actually traded a future. I have got into it at one time. I set up an account. I got ready to do it, but it just wasn't my thing. You know, I was just like, wasn't really into the futures market. So I did Forex, I did options, stocks, other stuff like that, mutual funds, ETFs. But futures is one of those things I actually haven't put hands on. So I'm letting you know that that's not my field of, experience and expertise in futures. So, but I do know about futures and I do know how they're set up, but I just never put hands on. So I want to throw that out there. But the big difference that I noticed between futures and options is the first thing is both of them are derivatives. And derivatives are pretty much, you don't own the underlying asset. What you mean what you mean by that? What's the underlying asset? Like, for example, with stocks, you trade calls and puts based on a particular stock. Versus futures, you place you bet long and short depending on, like, for example, wheat or rice or things like that, oil things. You don't own the oil. You're not buying barrels of oil, but you can pretty much place bets on oil. And the big difference between the two is with options, you have options. Within futures, you make a deal with the person saying, hey, I'm going to buy your oil for $10 a barrel at this date in the future. And you're going to buy it for that date in the future. And that seller is saying that, hey, I'm going to sell you these barrels of oil for this price for this date in the future. And that's it. When that date comes, you buy it regardless of what the price is. Whether it goes up in your favor or it goes against you, you have to buy it for that price, and the other person has to sell it for that price. Versus with options, you can buy the options, you can execute, which means that you can exercise on that contract and take those shares, or you can let it expire, or you can sell it before the date. You can have an expiration date, but you can buy and not buy and sell, but you can essentially buy and sell before the expiration date. You don't have to say, hey, I can't buy it or I can't sell it until this particular date. You can buy, you can sell it, you can let it expire, you can exercise the options, you can sell it to someone else for premium. You have options. Versus in the futures market, it just has a set up date. That's a big underlying difference. At the end of the day, they're both derivatives, but that's a big underlying difference between the two. And that's pretty much it, what I got to say about that. If you got any other questions or you want something more detailed, please feel free to drop a comment below or question below. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you decide to do or whatever. Let me know how I can get better. Thank you guys for following. Don't forget to tell a friend, share all the good stuff. Until the next video, you guys already know what to do. Be safe. I'm out.